Hello, everybody. This is Jamberg speaking. Today is 27th of October 2022. It is the second video of my TESOL teaching practice. Okay, today we are going to mention about the difference between must and have to. Maybe you may ask, teacher, aren't they the same? Well, no. Okay, it's not a huge problem if you use must or have to for each other, but in order to be more accurate, we must see the difference. Okay, so even though these two phrases seem quite confusing, there is only one fact that can help us to easily identify the difference between must and have to. Okay, what is that? So to basically put, must is the some things that we decide for ourselves or we decide for the others. Like you must see the doctor or you must drink enough water. Okay, so these are the things we decide for ourselves or for the others. On the other hand, have to have to is used for some obligations or some necessities appointed us by something or someone. It can be a constitution, it can be rules, uh, they can be some traffic rules, right? Um, so in such cases, we use have to. Okay, I'm going to give you one example. I have to show my ticket before getting into the cinema salon, right? So uh, I have to show my ticket because if I don't show my ticket, according to rules, the security guard won't let me in. Okay, so this. And when it comes to must, I must turn off my phone while entering the cinema salon, right? Okay, it's not a crime that if your phone just ringing during the watching the film, but you may create some disgrace from the disgrace to the people, and while watching the film, if your phone rings, the other people will look at you and like a hated looks, okay? So it's a disgrace. This is the difference. It's not a crime, but it's a strong violation for community procedures. Okay, so before we proceed to the examples, I want to show you my whiteboard. Uh, okay, let me see. I hope you can see my whiteboard now. Okay, okay, I assume that you see now. So I'm going to write here this. The first one is should to must to have to have to. Sorry for my bad writing since I am just using my mouse. Okay, so these are the levels of obligations, okay? Degrees of obligations. What is should? Okay, should is not for the case. It's not a case for our lesson, but I have to mention in order to comprehend better. Should. What is should? Should is basically a recommendation, okay? Um, I can say that it's just 50% obligation level. It's a recommendation, whether you don't do or you do. Um, you will not see any consequence if you don't or if you do them. Must. When it comes to must is a more certain version of should. Let's say it is 80%, okay? So which means it's a strong recommendation. You better do it, okay? This is must. And also, like I mentioned earlier in the lesson, this is the thing we decide for ourselves or for the other people. So this is the difference. And when it comes to have to, Have to is, let's say 100%. Either you do it or you face the consequences. Like if you violate the constitution, you may have some money penalties, or you will end up in a prison or penitentiary, right? Or if you violate the red lights at the traffic, the police officer will just cut you a ticket to money penalty. Okay. So basically put, this is the rule. These are the rules. Have to. If you hear have to, the rules should come to your mind immediately, okay? Have to meaning rules. The things that the others decide on you. Okay, perfect. So I can just close the whiteboard. Okay, I think you maybe understand or you have a tiny idea about what is must and what's have to. Okay, now we are going to go for the examples, and after the examples, I hope you will fully understand. Okay, okay. Let me share my screen for the examples. Let me see. Okay, now I think you see that. Okay, the second task of our second video is, sorry, the first task of our second video is doing or just fill in the blanks with must or have to. Sorry, should be have to. Okay, let's start with the first sentence. To live healthy, you blah 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 drink at least 2 liters of water. So is that thing appointed to you by somebody, or you decide for yourself? So make your decision. I think there isn't any rule, or there isn't a 100% obligation level, right? It should be must here. To live healthy, you must drink at least 2 liters of water. As you see, it's actually a strong recommendation, right? Because when you are just watching the news, the scientists or the medicine people uh, always says you must drink at least 2 liters of water in order to work your organs. Okay, the second one. It's nice talking with you, Daniel, but my time is up. I blah 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 go to work. So what are your opinions here? It's nice talking with you, Daniel, but my time is up. I blah blah go to work. So let's first see the action. Going for a work is a rule or not? I think it's not a rule, but if you don't go to work, you will most likely face the consequences, right? Because uh, if you go your work late, your boss just recited your name and say, okay, the next time you have to come to work in time. Okay, here should be have to. Have to. Because this necessity is appointed on you by your boss or your company's rules. Okay, the third one. I blah 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 stop at the red light in order not to violate the traffic. Sorry, tree. Alan blah blah see the Eiffel Tower when he goes to Paris. Okay, if Alan doesn't see the Eiffel Tower when he's going to Paris, will he face some consequences? I don't think so. Okay, it's a strong recommendation to see the Eiffel Tower, but um, he will not just end up in a prison, right? For not seeing the Eiffel Tower. Here is should be must see the Eiffel Tower when he goes to Paris. Okay, as you see, it's a strong advice. Next, 4. I blah blah stop at the red light in order not to violate the traffic rules. Yes, what I told you. When you see rules, have to should comes to your mind. Have to. Because if you violate the traffic rules, you will face some penalty, right? From the police or from the state. 5. She blah blah tell him the truth if she wants him to forgive her. Okay, let's imagine a couple. they are just fell out, they fell out to each other, and she lied in order for her to get on well with him again. um, she must tell him the truth, right? She must. Okay, it's a strong recommendation. If she doesn't tell the truth, the worst scenario is he will dump on her, right? So this is the maximum output. Okay, the sixth. I blah blah be at the airport 1 hour before the flight. Otherwise, they won't let me in for boarding. Okay, it's a quite common situation, right? Because when you are when you have some flight, or when you already bought some tickets, you have to be um, you have to be at the airport earlier before your flight, because there are some check-in procedures, and the staff will weigh your luggage, whether it just exceed 25 kilograms or not. Okay, so this is the standard procedure. These are the rules. So it should be have to. And moreover, if you are not 1 hour before at the airport, um, you will not fly. This is the consequence. It's a serious consequence. Seven, Michael blah 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 take his car to the mechanic. The engine sound of his vehicle is terrifying. Okay, so this is the thing we decide for others, right? Michael. So what it should it be? Yes, it should be must. Michael must take his car to the mechanic. Okay, is there any rule that tells Michael, so you have to bring your car to the mechanic? No, it's a strong recommendation, because whether he fixed his car or he broke right middle on the way. Okay, eight, our last example. You blah 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 show me your museum card to benefit from the discount. From the discount. Okay. So it's it's a quite common situation too. When you go for some museum, you have to show your you have to uh actually, I just already told you an answer, but I'm just explaining the situation. You have to show your museum card in order to benefit or utilize from the discount. Okay, here should be have to, because there are some rules for museum. If you don't show your museum card, you cannot uh, advance, or you cannot just take advantage for the discount. Okay, so I think this topic is more clear to you. So today is that. Okay, before I finish the lesson, I I have to ask you, because it's an obligation and I will be a teacher. So tell me, what did you learn from this lesson? Okay, what did you learn from this lesson? Today you have learned the difference between must and have to. Let's revise again together. Must for the things we decide for ourselves or for the others, and have to is some rules are defined us by something or someone. Like I said before, like a constitution, like a traffic rules, or anything like this. Okay, the level of obligation, let's remember the level of obligations, the degrees of obligation. Should is 50%, must is 80%. Should is actually must is the stronger version of should, and also have to is 100%. These are the rules. Okay, basically you have to follow it. Okay, so I think it's enough for today, because we are just filling the 15 minutes. um I hope you will stay well until the next lesson. Look after yourself. Bye and see you.